You know, I really like tea. Guys, this came on my radar yesterday and I just knew I needed to make a video about it. So TEDx London, which is a volunteer organization that does TED-style talks, which are short sessions where a guy comes up on stage, or a non-guy, a woman, okay, gotta be inclusive of women here, goes on stage and shares their ideas and thoughts in under 18 minutes. It's a short-style discussion, a discussion and presentation about a certain idea that's supposed to be a short amount of time. Now, I was curious what TEDx stood for. And I looked it up, and TEDx stands for the Endocrine Disruption Exchange. So I thought to myself, what the stink does endocrine mean? I might not be pronouncing that right, it might be endocrine. But anyway, I looked it up, and the definition of endocrine is relating to or denoting glands which secrete hormones or other products directly in the blood. So I have no idea why you would want to disrupt that, but I digress. Let's get into TEDx London and why they're on my radar today. About 5 days ago, they sent out a tweet on Twitter, and they basically said something about how there was going to be this conference coming up or something, and I could find the tweet, but I'm lazy, and they said something about women, but they spelled women W-O-M-X-N instead of W-O-M-E-N. And so somebody replied to that and asked, hey, I think you have a little typo in your tweet. Well, they were waiting for that because they replied back and said, why we're using Womxn? No, that's not a typo. Womxn is a spelling of women that's more inclusive and progressive. The term sheds light on the prejudice, discrimination, and institutional barriers Womxn? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Have faced and explicitly includes non-cisgender women. This tweet blew up. You can tell by looking at it that people are not pleased with it. It has 1,000 likes, and the fact that it even has that many is an absolute travesty. 7,900 retweets and 17,600 replies. Oh my goodness. I honestly don't even know where to start off with. First off, the victimization complex of these specialty groups who always try to argue for special treatment given to certain words is absolutely just baffling to me. Have women face discrimination, prejudice, and institutional barriers? Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to deny that. Could that apply to non-cisgender women as well? Sure. Does that mean you need to turn right around and replace the word women, a perfectly good word, mind you, with Womxn? No. What is this supposed to accomplish? Do you think by making up this replacement word and trying to shoehorn it into the English language that that's going to make people think to themselves, oh, well, you know what? This just reminds me of how bad women have it in this world. No, that's not going to happen. They're just going to laugh and shake their heads at how absolutely ridiculous you are. Don't believe me? Look at some of the replies to this tweet. My favorite one is this one that's gotten 10,000 likes. Just want to point out 10 times the amount you got, that says, thank you TEDx London for taking this brave stance. However, I worry that Womxn still too obviously resembles the offensive word women. From now on, please use WXXXN menstruators or unmale. This is how we all defeat misogyny. This is nothing more than absurd and laughable, but do you know what probably the worst part about this thing is? About these groups and these organizations trying to do these fierce things and make these changes for the betterment of empowering women and trying to fight discrimination and prejudice and crap like that, is the fact that they are incredibly, incredibly hypocritical. Because here's the thing, you don't want to be inclusive and progressive, because inclusive and progressive in your mind means putting women first. It doesn't mean making them equal. Why? Because you never talk about any of the problems that men face, okay? Do women have it bad sometimes? Absolutely. Do men have it bad sometimes? Yeah, they have their own sets of problems and difficulties, and you never mention that. Well, Kaz, women have it worse than men. Okay, so what? Okay, if you talked about women, let's say that women have it, let's say that men only have it as a quarter of bad as women have it, okay? Do you talk about men 25% of the time and women 75% of the time? No. You talk about women's problems 100% of the time. And then you try to put them in positions where they have things that men don't have to try to give them a leg up. You try so hard to be fair that you go as far as making it unfair against men on behalf of women. That doesn't sound very inclusive to me. You see them using the word Womxn. Is there just a Mexan? Is there a men turned to an Exan? No. No, there's not. Okay, that's the first problem I have, is the hypocrisy of using words like inclusive and progressive when you don't actually using those words properly or actually making your actions apply to them. Furthermore, let's talk about the idiocy of trying to make a word more inclusive. It doesn't take some educational genius to realize that the whole purpose of words is to exclude things. And the reason for that is because words differentiate. If I'm talking about animals and I say the word elephant, what do you get an image of? A big gray animal with 2 tusks, a big long trunk, and really flat feet that can stomp on somebody. You don't get an idea of a tall, long-necked, skinny animal with yellow and little brown spots. Why? Because the elephant means this one animal. It doesn't mean these other ones. You don't get an idea of this fluffy little furry thing that a lot of people have as a pet that uses a litter box and meows when it wants milk. Okay? That's because they each have their own names. Words are used to exclude things. Making a word inclusive makes the word more confusing and useless. Okay? In the English language, you have a word called love. What does love mean? Well, it can mean many things. If you say to somebody, I love you, that could mean several different things. You could mean you love them romantically, like, for example, your wife or your girlfriend. You could mean you love them as a friend, okay? Like they're your best friend, they're your mate, they've always got your back. You could say it as like a brother or a mother or to a baby, right? That would be like a family type love. You could say, I love you to a poor person. That's more of like a charitable love. See, you have the word love that's used for so many different definitions of a certain feeling. That's confusing. Compare that to the Greek language where love can mean like 4 or 5 different things, but they have 4 or 5 different variations of the word love for each of those different things. It's not just one word with several meanings, it's different words with different meanings. Okay? The more you specialize a word, the better it is. What is a woman? A woman is a female human being. Nothing more, nothing less. And when you try to make something more inclusive and progressive, you just take away the value that it has, because the whole purpose of words is to be exclusive. But yeah, that's what TEDx London has done, and they are rightly getting flack for it. Now, if some of you in the comments section try to call me sexist or transphobic, well, I have something to say to you. I am actually transracial. I identify as 50% Cherokee, okay? So, yeah, I don't think that you can say I'm sexist when I'm part of a minority, okay? Because Cherokees are a minority race. And if you try to say that I'm not, you're transphobic. And if you try to say that I'm sexist, well, you're probably just saying that because you hate Cherokees, so you're probably racist. So either way, you're in the wrong, and you're going to get called out for it by my comment section, so I suggest you just keep your mouth shut. Just use the dislike button or something. I don't really care. But yeah, I'm part of a protected group, so I can say anything I want about TEDx London, and it feels great. And TEDx London, you really messed up. And if you had integrity, it would be better for you to just come out and say, hey, you know, we said something stupid. And I'm really glad you guys pointed out to us, because it helped us to actually take a step back and reflect what we're really doing and what kind of a message we really need to be sending to our partners. Okay, if I had any business with TEDx London, I would probably pull out from this, just because I would not want to be associated with somebody who says silly things like that, because I wouldn't want that silliness tarnishing my brand. But hey, that's just me. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think this whole Womxn thing is stupid, or do you see a value to it that maybe I'm overstepping or missing? Whether you agree or disagree, let me know what you think down below. I would definitely appreciate it. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a dislike if you didn't. Subscribe for more hot takes and stuff like this about both internet and gaming culture, as I make a lot of different commentary videos, usually on the daily. Until next time, I've been your host, Kess Gaming, and I will see you all at the top.
I'm about to end this man's whole career. There goes a sight from my soul.